Dr. Sneha Anne Philip was a young woman with a bright future. She was a 31-year-old internal medicine resident at the time of her disappearance. Her last known moments were spent shopping at Century 21, a department store near the World Trade Center, on September 10, 2001. Security cameras captured her browsing the aisles. She purchased lingerie, a dress, and shoes. It seemed like an ordinary day. Sneha's husband, Ron Lieberman, was also a doctor. He last saw his wife the morning of September 10th before heading to work. When he returned home that night, Sneha was not there. This was not unusual. She often visited family or friends without telling him. Lieberman, unaware of the tragedy about to unfold, went to bed. The next morning, Lieberman left for work. It was then that the unimaginable happened. Terrorists attacked the World Trade Center. The city descended into chaos. Lieberman frantically tried to contact his wife, but she was nowhere to be found. As the dust settled and the city began to grieve, Sneha remained missing. Her last known whereabouts were just blocks from the epicenter of the attacks. Had she been caught in the tower's collapse, or was there another explanation for her disappearance? The days after September 11th were filled with both grief and a desperate search for survivors. Families clung to hope, praying their loved ones would be pulled from the rubble. For Sneha's family, the uncertainty was agonizing. They searched hospitals and morgues, their hopes dwindling with each passing hour. The police began their investigation into Sneha's disappearance. They uncovered details about her life, her troubled marriage, a night spent in jail after a bar fight, and possible struggles with alcohol. This information painted a picture of a woman in turmoil, leading some to believe she may have intentionally disappeared. Sneha's family vehemently rejected this theory. They described her as a compassionate and caring person. They believed she would have rushed towards danger, not away from it. They clung to the belief that Sneha, a doctor, had instinctively run towards the World Trade Center to help after the first plane hit. The lack of physical evidence only deepened the mystery. With no remains found at Ground Zero, it was impossible to definitively say what had happened to Sneha. The family was left in a heartbreaking limbo, unable to grieve properly without knowing her fate. Desperate for answers, Sneha's family hired a private investigator, Ken Gallant. Gallant focused his efforts on proving Sneha had been at or near the World Trade Center on that fateful morning. He discovered security footage from her apartment building that showed a woman resembling Sneha leaving just minutes before the first plane hit. The image was grainy, but it offered a glimmer of hope. Gallant dismissed the police's focus on Sneha's personal struggles, calling it a distraction from the real issue, her proximity to the World Trade Center on 9/11. He believed the woman in the video was Sneha, rushing towards the unfolding disaster to offer her medical expertise. The security footage, while compelling, was not conclusive. The woman's face was obscured, leaving room for doubt. The police remained unconvinced, stating that the footage did not definitively prove Sneha had died in the towers. The mystery of her disappearance remained unsolved. In the years following 9/11, Sneha's case became a legal battle. Initially, she was declared a victim of the attacks. Her name was etched alongside the thousands of others who perished that day. However, in 2004, the city's medical examiner removed her name from the official list, citing the lack of physical evidence. Sneha's husband, Ron, fought tirelessly to have her name reinstated. He argued that the circumstances of her disappearance, combined with the security footage, proved she had died on that tragic day. Finally, in 2008, an appellate court ruled in his favor. Sneha Anne Philip was officially recognized as a victim of the September 11th attacks. Despite this victory, questions still linger. Without physical evidence, Sneha's final moments remain a mystery. Did she die trying to help others, as her family believes, or did something else happen to her on that fateful day? The lack of answers has left a void in the lives of those who loved her, a void that can never truly be filled. Sneha's story is a reminder of the many unanswered questions that remain from that tragic day. It is a story of loss, of hope, and of the enduring power of love in the face of unimaginable tragedy.